retest of the bottom of the EMA ribbon, a move back to the upside, a super bullish indication for us, that 22% move here. Bitcoin is right now having a small correction, and the big question is how low we will actually go, and is it yet safe to buy? We will also talk about one specific altcoin that is, in my opinion, a lifetime opportunity to buy this one coin right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again. Sorry that I did not make yesterday video. I felt so sick. I was coughing like crazy. I have here also these drops that I'm eating all the time that I actually don't need to cough. Hence why I can speak right now, kind of okay-ish. But yeah, just know that from now on everything is okay again, and you will get every day your dose here of crypto charts. So let's jump in here into the DXY. The DXY is bouncing from the underlying support area, which is not really surprising because this is like the last line of defense on the DXY before we would get a major move in our risk on assets if the dollar would keep losing strength here. So I'm not really surprised about that. What do I think? How high can that go? Maybe to like 101.5 points approximately, just to retest here this resistance, then come back down, consolidate, and then we break lower. But don't be mistaken here, this can happen also really quick by tomorrow, after tomorrow. Of course, it depends on many factors that are going on right now geopolitically, but from a technical perspective we should definitely get here continuation over the next couple of days. On the Bitcoin was a cheat sheet. According to our fracture here, we should see today or by tomorrow a nice pump here to the upside. Today really doesn't look like it. I'm rather tomorrow, after tomorrow, which is absolutely fine with me. And also remember, guys, we are still trading above the 50 moving average here on the daily, which is a super bullish indication for us that we are holding on to the 50 moving average here, because that helps us. Sorry, is this the 200? Yes, sorry, we're sitting above the 200 moving average. Which is extremely bullish that we are above that 200 moving average here. And you see the 50 is already making a sharp angle to the upside, which could shorten the time to get here a golden cross. So we could potentially get here by next Monday already that golden cross if we keep that trajectory instead of following Sunday or even the Monday afterwards. So as long as Bitcoin can hold on to the 200 moving average here and bouncing off it, we should get a prematurely golden cross on this high time frame. Here on this daily chart with the line chart, we see clearly why Bitcoin got rejected, and that comes from the $64,300 area. Remember, I mentioned that so many times that here is major resistance from the past in that price level, because every time when we went above this, we got nice swings to 67, 68, even 70 and $72,000. Hence why I was expecting that when we get up here, that we get an initial rejection, need to find momentum, and then going to break through this. And this is most likely what we are going to see here right now. So I believe that Bitcoin will come a little bit lower to $62,700, $500, bounce off here that area, and then will break through $64,300. Also here on the 1 hourly chart, we are losing currently the EMA ribbon, which is another indication that we will get a steeper pullback than what people potentially anticipate right now. I'm gonna show that here on another chart. So here on this 1 hourly chart, remember guys, we had pointed out that we have down here an imbalance that needs to be filled at $62,300 to $62,600, and things are looking more and more like that we're actually going to get this move to the downside. But remember, I believe that this will be a really brief and quick move to the downside, and from there we get more or less imminent a move back to the upside to like 63,500, 63,800, something like this. Also, Saturday I had pointed out, if we lose here this upward sloping trend line, take profits on your trades. I hope you listen to that, because you can see we retested this here multiple times today. We're not able to break above this again, and that usually means that we will get still a small pullback before we get then momentum shifting back to the upside. Here on the MDX algo gradients, you can also see that the Bitcoin price has overall nicely cooled down already, and that this here is the current trading range and that we are in from 63,300 to, what is this here, 64,500, so $1,200 range that we are currently trading in. As long as we are holding here 63,370, we will most likely see continuation to the upside if we're holding this level overall. But like I said, here is that that imbalance in that red candle here that I believe needs to get filled. So most likely also here on the gradients, what we are going to see is we are seeing the candles going into a green phase, filling that fair value gap, which will be a deviation, come straight back up here into the range, and then try to break here through this big supply zone that we are seeing over here. On the higher time frames on 12-hourly chart, also multiple reasons why we did not break here the $64,700 area. You see here we retested it multiple times. We had always pointed out that scenario that we come up here, get rejected, then break through this. And I cannot remember for how long we have that scenario here already. It's at least for 2 weeks. The indicators also showing as exhaustion. You see here the stochastic RSI is printed already. A sell signal is slightly going down. The MACD is losing momentum. The RSI is also rolling over here. So there is definitely a pullback coming. Do I believe that we will go back to the VPVR here to test this as support? No, I don't believe that we are going that low. But like I said, 62,000, 62,500 is most likely the area that we should be looking out for, and where I'm personally also placing a lot of buy orders for my next Bitcoin trade here to the upside into that resistance of that multi-month parallel downward sloping channel that we are in here in direction of $69,000. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade with me this next move to the upside, then sign up on ZoomX. You still get $10 just for signing up there, and you also can enter the lucky draw where you win 2 times per week $500 by depositing just $100, guys, and you get up to $45,000 worth of deposit bonus if you deposit a little bit of money on ZoomX, guys. And there are no KYC, also no VPN, so use the link in the description below before we are running out here, because I can tell you there's not many bonuses left anymore. I had a look earlier, we were at 170, 80-ish, so you have to be quick if you want to be still within that 200 range. But potentially, if we fill it up today, I promise you this, guys, if we get the 200 signups filled today, I talk to ZoomX and try to get more, but only if you fill it up today. Then here on the 4-hourly chart, here's something crazy happening, that we're about to get our golden cross here with the next 4-hourly candle close in 2 hours. That could be also one of the reasons why Bitcoin is currently pulling back a little bit, basically to try to scare you out of your position and to confuse you, because we're getting this golden cross here. At the same time, I also want to point out that down here in that area where we get the golden cross are some over leveraged long positions, even 100x longs here. Look, the darkest yellow orange-ish lines. There are multiple of them are sitting here. So the play that I see here coming over the next couple of hours on the shorter time frames is retest of the bottom of the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly chart into the golden cross, and then from the golden cross continuation to the upside, going here into $66,000 over the next 72 hours approximately, potentially even higher than that. So because remember, when we get a golden cross and we get here a clean golden cross in that kind of angle, it usually means that we get a strong impulsive move and continuation to the upside. And also liquidity wise, there's still a lot of liquidity to be cleaned up here to the upside, and that liquidity is sitting closer to current price action than the liquidity that's sitting below us. Also on the liquidation heat maps, if I refresh that, there is some liquidity sitting below us, hence why I'm saying that we could see this quick flush it to the downside to $62,000 approximately, taking this all out. But then the direction is definitely to the upside. So also here the liquidation heat map is conclusive, pointing to the same direction. Then on this 12-hourly chart with the VPVR, also here that we are currently holding on to that support level of that VPVR cluster from $62,500 to $63,000. Here also, I don't believe that we are going to hold this, that we are getting a retest of the EMA ribbon on the 12-hourly chart, and from there bounce then into that downward sloping trend line here on the higher time frames. But overall, I'm not really scared about this, and it will be safe to buy, in my opinion, when we are getting that retest of the 12-hourly EMA ribbon. When it comes to altcoins, remember guys, I told you that I would expect a rejection here from the total free on that downward sloping resistance line of that falling wedge. That's what we got now. Altcoins are also bleeding because of that just a little bit. But here, I would say by the weekend potentially. By the weekend, I can imagine that we are getting a proper breakout here above $622 billion. Once we have flipped that level into support, I can draw here a trend line, and you actually can see that. So here, that is the resistance line that we need to break. Once that is broken, expect that altcoins will accelerate tremendously and super quickly to the upside. You saw that with multiple coins the last time now over the last 5 days, where we had coins 50-60% moving in a single day. And that is not unusual in a proper altcoin season, and we are going to see this across most of the coins once we are breaking here above $622 billion on the total free market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is raging here to the upside. Remember guys, I warned you about this, that altcoins go down, Bitcoin goes down, dominance goes up. I said last time that is the worst case scenario that we can get, and this is exactly what we are seeing right now, because it means if Bitcoin turns around and starts pumping to the upside, the dominance will go even higher. So I would not rule out that we go to 58-59% here before we are finally topping out on the dominance and getting then a move here to the downside. And once we are breaking here below the 52% level, that is when we start the proper altcoin season, like the real one. That's what we are still need now to wait for, and this can potentially take another month potentially, which is of course not what we wished for, but we have to live what the chart is telling us. For Ethereum, we're currently sitting here on this VPVR cluster that is giving us support above $2,700. That is absolutely okay, but also here I see the potential of breaking back into the $2,650 range here, into that area here, and only from there get support and a push back to the upside, because we need to be above $2,770, above that whole cluster here, and entering into that small gap to get a push into the $3,000 trajectory. Also here you get potentially one more time a nice potential entry at $2,600, $2,650 on Ethereum to load up before we are starting to skyrocket to the upside here. Solana is holding on strong to that underlying currently support level, so I'm quite surprised that we are holding so strong onto this. On the 4-hourly chart, we have already bottomed out, which is telling me that we most likely get here continuation into the $176 level pretty soon, potentially already by tomorrow or after tomorrow. So if you're in this trade, basically you don't need to worry about anything, just hold the trade and wait that we are tapping our take profit point, and from there we're gonna wait for a pullback and are going to find a new entry. Otherwise, just set a stop loss under $153, just in case that we're turning around and you get stopped out, that you banked your profit, because you should have made already over 14% profit if you would even get stopped out from there. Then one of the coins that I'm looking closely at right now, here I expect soon a massive bounce back to the upside, is Telegram. Now, I got caught pretty hard off guard with that big move here to the downside. No, it was correct here. So with this move to the downside, why? Because I did not see this coming for one simple reason. It was news driven and not price driven. Price driven, we should have gone a little bit higher before we came down. But that was like at my midnight when the news broke that the founder was arrested in Paris because he is not moderating the content on Telegram. A stupid reason that he got arrested for. And that's why we got that drop here. And when yesterday some news broke more in a positive direction, we got here that small bounce back to the upside. I believe that lower low that we put in here will remain the lowest low. Here that might become the higher low. And if that's the case, and we can move here above $4.77, that will be, for me, the confirmation that the worst is over and that we are ready to go back to the upside. I actually bought here in this candle yesterday, and I believe that this is a really, really short opportunity here, especially with the indicators being heavily oversold and pointing to a squeeze back to the upside, that you have a limited time window to take advantage of that. Because if you go back to the upside, just to from where we dropped down, there's already a 22% move here. And I would say that is a move that is pretty I don't want to say risk-free, but super, super low risk in my opinion in terms of risk to reward terms here. I believe once we are pushing back here to the upside, that we will actually push here past the point from where we broke down and move straight above $7. I'm basically waiting for that. I'm holding on to my position. Also the higher time frames, they have all cooled down here, so there can be only another 24 hours of downside pressure based on the higher time frames before we need to start to turn around. But the RSI is showing already that the momentum is turning around here slowly, and that the worst might be over, and that low here of $5.24 might have been that low. And just to put something into perspective, $4.70 was the lower low that we had before. This would be a higher low. And as long as we are not breaking $4.70, we are still in a massive, massive uptrend for Telegram. And I believe that we are continuing over the next couple of days to move here back into higher prices. Again, guys, if you want to trade some of these coins here on Bybit and you still and you don't have any or a lot of money available, you get still $500 worth of an airdrop position. If you deposit $100 on a Bybit with all these coins that are listed here, you can trade these $500, and the profits that you make out of these $500 belong all to you. Only the $500 is something that you cannot withdraw, but you can trade with it, make money with it, start build your portfolio, which is really, really important. Especially when Bitcoin is right now pulling back a little bit, altcoins are cooling down. So you get here a picture perfect opportunity to start building a position with the $500 and potentially turn this into a couple thousand of dollars in profit that you can actually withdraw. So use the link in the description for that. Another coin that I have my eye on is Near. Again, Near was really good to us the last time. So here I wait for a pullback to $4.80. If we're not continue to pull back here and we start running and break $4.91, that will be the other point of entry that I'm going to use. Because most likely when we break $4.91, we're not coming back to $4.80 and we'll just continue to go here into our target. Hence why I'm ready to enter a little bit higher. And also the indicators are telling me that the selling is over on the 1 hourly time frame, and that we are ready to go back to the upside, and the 4 hourly chart is most likely looking more or less the same. Yes, also here we are heavily oversold across the board. Also here price on the MDX algo gradient is coming into a phase from where we can run and get continuation to the upside. Hence why I'm either entering at $4.91 or when we pull back to $4.80. Either way, I'm going to enter here. And again, also if you want the MDX algo suite, there is a link in the description with 10% discount. Only with that link, guys, take advantage of that, because this is a money maker. You have seen it over and over again, how we look at the charts with that, and we're able to make here some nice returns on this. So then the last one is Casper. Casper also on the 4 hourly time frame looks completely bottom out here. Here I wait for a reclaim of 70 cents 0.2. Once we are getting this, I'm entering, because also here we're about to get a golden cross pretty soon. Potentially by tomorrow, after tomorrow, I would say. Where is that? This is, by Saturday. Okay, let's say Friday, Saturday is when we get the golden cross here, but price will most likely move before that, already above the 200 moving average, and will be at like 18 cents or something when we get the golden cross. So that's why I'm entering definitely when we get here above 17 cents 0.2 and trade this then into a potential new all-time high. And guys, that's it for today's episode already. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you hopefully with a less cough tomorrow.